In this episode, we're talking about promoting your blog in Instagram comments, getting into marketing, and networking without attending events. Hi guys, I'm Brittany from Not Another Blonde, and you're watching Blog with Britt, where I answer all your blogging and business related questions. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. I post new videos every Wednesday. Before we jump into the questions, I have a very exciting announcement. I am launching my very first online course, The Blogger Blueprint. It's coming 2020, and I'm offering you a special chance to hop on the waitlist for 20% off. The only people who will get the 20% off are those on the waitlist, so definitely subscribe. The link is in the description of this video. The Blogger Blueprint is a step-by-step course that helps you build your blog from the ground up, okay? So it helps you to create a sustainable, successful online business. Everything in the Blogger Blueprint, it took me 8 years to figure out on my own, so this is kind of like a fast track to where I am now. So if you want to, get to that next level, if you're sick of feeling stuck, if you want to manage your time better, if you want to learn how to navigate Instagram, if you want to learn how and when to reach out to brands for collaborations, this is the guide for you. I'm telling you guys, it's a game changer, okay? I use all of the principles in the Blogger Blueprint to this day, and I've been blogging for 8 years, so I literally use them every single day, especially the part on time management. It's like my favorite. And so hop on the wait list, get that 20% if you want to take your blog to the next level. Leanna wants to know, why do people leave their blog URL in comments on Instagram? So what she's saying is, on other people's Instagram pictures, people are leaving their blog URLs or their blog names. And she wants to know if this is something, is it to get new followers? And if so, is this something that works? So there are a couple reasons why people would leave their blog URL or their blog name or brand name as a comment on people's photos on Instagram. One being, if the person whose picture it is, so on that person's profile, if they're running a contest or something like that, they might say, leave your blog URL in the comments below. So that's one thing that's one possibility. If the person leaving the comment is trying to promote their blog or their brand, then yes, they are, plugging themselves or trying to plug themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's maybe slightly desperate, but that's my own opinion. I think that you have to try different techniques to grow on Instagram, especially if you're just starting. And that's one of those techniques that you can use. And if it works, then continue to do it. And if it doesn't work, try something else. The fact is, engaging on Instagram, whether you're leaving your blog URL, your Instagram handle, your company, your brand's handle or your company's handle, like whatever it is, the fact is, when you are engaging and just getting your name out there and showing yourself on other people's profiles, that is brand awareness for you, and that's just more publicity for you. So whatever you have to do to get that, then do it. Because the more the better, and you want to grow your brand, you want to grow your blog, and you want people to get familiar with who you are, what you do, and how you can help. So, if you gotta, plug yourself every once in a while by leaving your blog URL on someone's, in a comment on someone's picture, then do it, there's no harm in trying. Our next question comes from Kate. She says, I'm a teacher looking to move into marketing. P.S. That's exactly what I did. And I want to know, how did you get into marketing? Do you need to further your education or get a different degree? I am not someone who truly believes you have to go to college in order to succeed in a certain field. If you want to be a doctor, a brain surgeon, a psychologist, an engineer, a mathematician, you probably have to go to school for those things. Not probably. If you want to be a doctor or a brain surgeon, you definitely are going to 8 years of school. So there are certain very specific niche industries that do require an education. Marketing is not one of them. Teaching actually is one of them. You have to get your teaching certificate in order to be a teacher. So teaching, being a doctor, psychologist, dentist, those really specific industries, yes, you have to get an education in those things. But marketing, business, branding, web design, graphic design, photography, anything that's like creative, I don't think you need an education to do. I will say that because you are a teacher looking to get into marketing, that I think you're at an advantage there, because as a teacher, and I'm speaking from personal experience, because I was a teacher and I was elementary education, so I don't even think it matters like what level education of a teacher you are, but through what I learned in teaching, I apply so many of those skills and traits to marketing. Like teaching and marketing kind of go hand in hand because there's a lot of psychology behind them. So teaching, you're managing people, you're managing a classroom, you're basically trying to influence these kids to learn. What do you do as an influencer or marketer? You're influencing people to like consume your content, consume your product, and become a loyal, dedicated follower, reader, consumer, whatever it is. So yeah, they both, both of those fields have psychology in them, and I think that it's such a great, it's a great move. And I think it's like a horizontal move or like a lateral move. You're just kind of like shifting gears. So, the short end of it, no, you don't need to get like another degree, a higher education. I personally just trained myself. I took as many courses as possible, hence why I'm making the Blogger Blueprint. So, you can follow my path too if you are not on the traditional route to getting into marketing, influencing, blogging, branding, whatever. So yeah, I took every online course. I talked to every person who had what I wanted. So I really got in there, and wasn't just like, hey, can I pick your brain? I was like, listen, I will, write your newsletter for you 5 times if you're able to give me insight on XYZ. So I made sure that it was an even exchange. Like I would exchange a service in order for them to kind of help me out. So I took every course, like I said, every course I could get my hands on. I talked to people in the industry who were already successful, so I could kind of get an understanding of like what it took to be successful and what they did to get where they are. And I also read a ton and watched YouTube videos and listened to podcasts. So I just consumed content from all angles, really. And I think that that's the recipe for any industry. Like whether you want to get into marketing or if you want to be an interior designer, like take those tips and just apply it to whatever field you're trying to get into. If it's something creative, again, and you can 100% tap into it and be super successful at it. Our next question comes from Taylor, and she says, I can never go to events or store openings because I have a full-time job. Is there any other way to network and put my blog on the map without attending events? This is one of my favorite questions because I'm so with you, girl. Like, well, first of all, I can attend events. I just kind of like choose not to. I'm very selective about the events that I do attend because I don't love them. Like, I do not love small talking. I don't like networking. I don't like plugging myself. Like, it's just not my jam. So I tend to like avoid them. But they are kind of necessary. Like if you can go to events that are after work, a lot of influencer events and fashion events and beauty events are timed, like their timing is they're scheduled for the end of the work day because they understand that influencers and fashion people have other things to do during the day. So like it's not going to be during the day. So that's actually an advantage of yours. So if you are trying to, go to networking events, like you could give feedback to the people that have events during the day and be like, hey, I have a full-time job. Like, is there any way that you can move the event later? Or like, here's just some feedback that maybe would be helpful. You would have a better turnout if you, scheduled the event for later after work. The beauty about today's landscape is that it's like completely digital. So if you want to network with people, you can do so digitally. Like that's why social media was made. It's a social networking platform. So network with people on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Pinterest, on Twitter. Get in those conversations, like really immerse yourself in the industry that you want to be a part of and just like start communicating and start talking to people. And this doesn't, I don't just mean commenting and liking people's pictures. I mean sending them DMs, replying to their stories. Like you know, just really getting in there and just pretending, not pretending, but just acting as if you guys are already friends and communicating with them on that like friendly, amicable basis already. If you're unable to attend an event because you're working or because of some other reason you just don't like it and it gives you anxiety, try pitching a different collaboration for that still benefits the brand, right? So influencers do Instagram takeovers, they do Insta story takeovers, they create IGTV, they have sponsored posts, they do YouTube videos and try on hauls and all these different things that would be a good alternative to like still network, still get your name out there, and also potentially have the brand to repost you and be, you know, fed through on their channels for extra exposure. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if it brought you value, give it a thumbs up, please. And if you have a question that you would like answered on the next Blog with Britt, comment below. I'll give you a shout out and I'll answer your question. And also, the Blogger Blueprint launches in 2020, just as a reminder. So get on that wait list to get 20% off for a course that will change your life. If you are an influencer, aspiring influencer, struggling influencer, new influencer, this course is for you. I promise. I'm so excited to bring this to you. And again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.